What's up, everybody? Doug here, and this is episode two of the Super Smash Brothers in review. And actually, I haven't even, as of recording this, we haven't even uploaded episode one yet. Uh, but this is going to be a little bit different because Animal Crossing, as you know, if you listen to episode one, the game for episode two was Animal Crossing, the GameCube version. Uh, Now, the thing about some games and how my gaming schedule is, it's not going to work out, quite so well. So I was able to play Animal Crossing, but to beat Animal Crossing is just something that is not going to be in the cards. So what I did was I took what I could play and what I could experience and went off of that. And so that's what you're going to get. And then you're also going to get, since I don't have, a complete, comprehensive list of thoughts about Animal Crossing on the GameCube as a whole, uh, I'm also going to go ahead and do the game that was going to be it for episode three, which is the original Tekken. Kazuya came up in the randomizer. So yeah, we're gonna talk about those two games today. But before we get into it, let's just get some housekeeping out of the way. Uh, First off, if you like music, we've got the first two episodes of the Avenged Sevenfold series. The first episode called "That's Mine." Uh, that's basically us getting the intro for what the Avenged Sevenfold series is going to be. And then episode two of that is part one of our Sounding the Seventh Trumpet review. And if you're wondering when part two is going to come out, we don't know yet because we're dealing with four people's schedules to get this, scheduled. So we're trying to schedule that. We had it on the books, but then like 30 minutes before we are going to record it, our IT guy, we're not going to name any names, but our IT guy, he got attacked by some butthole snakes, and so we had to reschedule that. Uh, but if you like video games, we have a whole bunch of cool content out right now. We've got the episode where we talk about games preservation that came out. We've got Leo and I's favorite games of 2023 so far. We've got we rank and review all of the Resident Evil games that can feasibly be played in 2023. Uh, yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff you could listen to. If you want to learn about some other games that are coming out soon, and one of them has actually already came out. There are two episodes where I talk about games that I played in the Steam Next Fest event that was out a few weeks ago. But yeah, so that just about does it for all the housekeeping I can think of. If you're in the Lake Charles area on August 18th and August 19th, I'm going to be back at LeBaire at the L Bar. Be playing from 8 to 12. Uh, we haven't really. No. I think we have done. I think in one of the Avenged Sevenfold episodes, we talked about some of the stuff that happened there. Just a great time. Just a great venue to play at. So if you want to come out, send me some money, some tips. That'd be great. But yeah, it's a fun night of music. Oh, one more thing. This episode is brought to you by W Energy, and it's a W is an energy drink brand that I found on Facebook. They have great flavors. I've tried a little bit of almost all of them. There's like maybe three or four flavors I haven't tried yet. But my favorite personally is the orange Cali cream. It's like an orange dreamsicle kind of flavor, and they tell you to mix it in with water, but if you mix it in with milk, it's really really good. If you want to go to WGG to try it, I'm sorry, W.GG to try your own to try WA Energy for yourself, you go over to W.GG, you pick out what you want and enter in code Night Ride Home, and you will get 10% off that order, and we get a percentage of that as well. So, without any further shenanigans, let's talk about Animal Crossing on the GameCube. So, I have played Animal Crossing here and there, but I didn't really get into the franchise until the Switch version that came out. Now, I mean, I was deep into that. But I remember the GameCube version. I remember back in the days where you'd go to Hollywood Video or Blockbuster. Uh, I'm pretty sure that I had rented it briefly, and you get and you always see the commercials because back then you had commercials for video games all day, every day, and Uh, it was just not the game for me at the time because I was again a child playing on a GameCube. I could either be playing this game about paying off debt, or I could be playing Sonic Adventure 2, and you bet your sweet bottom that I played Adventure 2. Uh, but yeah, so I got deep into New Horizons when it came out on the Switch. I probably play that game every day for at least a couple of hours for a good 3 to 4 months, and it was one of those games where it came. Well, I shouldn't talk about New Horizons that much. It's just that was the game that really got me into Animal Crossing. So going back, a game like Animal Crossing is hard to go backwards on because New Horizons starts out you've got a little bit of intro stuff, but then it's pretty much it lets you go straight away, and it tells you exactly what you can do on your first day and what you should be doing. And every day there's something new, something every time you get back into the game on a new day, there's something for you to work towards. And that carrot on a stick is still here in this version of the game, but the intro was a slog. It just felt so long compared to what New Horizons intro was, and there's just a whole lot of convenience. Not convenient. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but basically convenience features where like you can just go into your house and New Horizons and you had storage. You can just put things away in your storage. But in this game, if you immediately I was walking through my village, picking up, shaking the peaches out of the trees. And then I got to Nook's Cranny where you have jobs, which that's not really a thing that you have in the newer games. You don't really have jobs; you just do whatever you want. But yeah, so I mean, you have to like go and manually put things down in your house. You can't save from anywhere. You have to go talk to the gyroid, and you can't save right away, which I thought was a bummer because I accidentally forgot to save. And in the old Animal Crossings, you forget to save, and that mole guy comes out and yells at you for what feels like 30 minutes. Uh, but all of those negative things aside, if you like Animal Crossing, yeah, I mean, there's still plenty to like in the GameCube version. It has the fishing. It has NES. You can play actual NES games inside of Animal Crossing, and it's just it's a relaxing game. Now, I allegedly played this on my Steam Deck. Allegedly, uh, but it's okay because I remember the full game. Uh, this It's weird because the real time system did not seem to still work. I don't know if that was just an alleged Steam Deck issue or not. Uh, but that was it just kind of seemed like I would not log in, but when I pull up the game, sometimes the time would exactly synced up the way you wanted it to, and putting the console into sleep mode was just an absolute would just completely screw up your time. Uh, but other than that, I mean, it's Animal Crossing. You're going, you're doing your jobs, you're talking to other villagers. There's a town dump where you can go to that, the villagers will dump things in. You can go through. There's something you want, you can get it. You're working to pay off your debt. You're working to get your house looking better. Uh, it's a really fun time. It's a relaxing time. It's just, as I stand now, it just after playing New Horizons, there were so many features that weren't in this game that it really. Uh, I appreciate this game for what it was, and that is how I'm ranking it. It's just not. I would never go back and play this game if it wasn't for the fact that I was playing it for this series. Uh, so we're gonna put a pin in it for now. And like the way we left it off on the episode one was we talked about Pokemon Red and Blue and Pokemon Yellow, and the rankings was Pokemon Yellow was first and Red and Blue was second. And I'm gonna put Animal Crossing at number three. Good game, great game. Uh, but when you look at it compared to the original Pokemon games, I just think that those are better games. They are not as modern, obviously, but they are still the better games in my opinion. So the other game we're talking about today is the original Tekken. And this, I have played other games in the Tekken franchise, but it was mainly, whatever. I think it was Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection on the PSP was the first Tekken game I ever played, and think I think that's the only Tekken game I've ever played. I might have played Tekken versus Street Fighter, but I can't remember if I did or not. And I think my only other touchstone for the Tekken characters would have been, I think they were in that game Project X Zone, which I'm debating putting in the list of games to play for this series. I'm debating that because there are, let's see, I remember the Tekken characters are in there for sure. Like, for sure, those are in there. And I can't remember there are other Smash Brothers characters that are in there. I'll have to look into that. Anyway, but yeah, Dark Resurrection on the PSP was pretty much the only Tekken game that I really played the absolute crap out of. And uh, I remember everybody talking about, I think it was Tekken 2 that came on the PlayStation Classic. And if you listen to the games preservation episode of the podcast, we have a brief discussion about the PlayStation Classic and how it wasn't as well received as something like the SNES Classic, because the SNES Classic, the games aged a lot better on that console because the games were games like Super Mario World, Super Metroid, stuff like that, Link to the Past. The PlayStation One was known for having these 3D games on it. Just do. They don't hold up as well graphically. I wouldn't say they hold up at all. In the case of Tekken One, uh, but yeah, I mean it's Tekken. There's not a real storyline to this at all. It is, if I remember right from the little bit of time I played with it, it was a just arcade mode, and I think there was like maybe like 8 to 10 characters playable. Uh, since Kazuya was the character that was selected in the randomizer, I went through arcade mode as him, and I can say that uh, it is a fighting game. It's a fighting game that was on the PlayStation One, and oh, excuse me, it shows. I mean, it shows honestly. It's it plays fine, but at the same time, it's not as responsive as you would want it to be. Like in modern fighting games, you have all this range of motion and you can move around pretty quickly. Even in the newer Tekken games, like I remember Dark Resurrection, you can move. The speed of movement, I guess, is what I'm saying here. Like I felt like if I needed to, I could dodge something or block a move or something like that. And I think that's where a lot of the difficulty in this game came in. Like I think the first round of arcade mode was against Yoshimitsu, and it was a very difficult battle because his sword attacks. I mean, if he hits you twice, you're almost out of your health bar is almost all the way to the what's the word I'm looking for? It's you're almost dead. Is basically what I'm talking about here. And I mean, you're working the original PlayStation One D-pad as a movement, and that's probably why it's so. I just can't think of words. So restrictive, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Uh, but yeah, I mean, that being said, you've got the beginning of the Tekken's legendary roster. You've got King, you've got Yoshimitsu, you've got Kaguya, you've got Jin and Heihachi. I can't remember the other ones. I think Armor King might be in Tekken One, but I think he might be like an old character. I'd have to do more research on that. The stages themselves are, they're typical. They're okay for what the PlayStation One was, and I'm about to do. Well, I can't Google. I can't Google. Hmm. I think that there was only arcade mode in Tekken One. I think it was just arcade mode, and then there was the two-player mode if you wanted to play with a friend. Uh, but yeah, there just wasn't a whole lot going for this game. I think after you beat all the arcade modes, you were done. But yeah, I mean, again, Tekken One isn't a bad game. It's just compared to the other game. I mean, you got to look. I mean, Animal Crossing, for what that game is, there's so much reason to keep playing that game. Like I could see that if I was, closer, like if I was 29 when Animal Crossing one came out, I probably would have played that game just like I played the crap out of New Horizons when it came out. And then Red and Blue, and Pokemon Yellow, those games were so long-winded. Uh, and in the case of Tekken One, I can see that you can make the argument where you have to sit down and you have to learn the intricacies and the moves and the combo lists of every single one of the characters, and that can add longevity to it. But for me, that's not enough to really boost this game's appeal, if that makes sense. Uh, so rating wise, I'm going to go ahead and put Tekken One at number four. So the rankings as they are now for Super Smash Brothers in review. Uh, we've got number four is Tekken 1. Number three is Animal Crossing for the GameCube. Number two is Pokemon Red and Blue. And number one is Pokemon Yellow. Um, just a quick little note here. I have decided, uh, I think that for, because, it's kind of weird to not do these Super Smash Brothers games in this review. So what I'm probably going to do is at the end of everything, like when I get through, and it's going to take a long time. But before this series wraps up, I'm going to end it with playing all the Super Smash Brothers games in order, uh, and that will be the end of the series when I do that, and there will be its own separate list, and that will be the closer for it. But yeah, that's it. And now so that was episode two, and we had two epic games because they were kind of shorter in length, and that's probably what I'll do for some of these games when they're shorter. Uh, like episode four. Episode four is going to be the Legend of Zelda, like the original Legend of Zelda. So what I'm probably going to do for that one is I'm probably going to pair that in with whatever episode five is going to be. I don't know off the top of my head. I have to look at the list. Um, but we'll talk about more. But we'll talk about that more at the end of episode three, which is going to be the villager came up and the randomizer. So Minecraft is going to be the topic of next week's episode, and you know, for what Minecraft is, that game was such a massive thing that whenever we get to that game, I'll have so much to say about it that there will be enough to fill an episode. And if you're wondering what happens, the villagers from Minecraft, what happens if it comes up again? That's when we're gonna do games like there's the Telltale Minecraft game. I don't know if I'm gonna do that one. I think I should. Uh, but then there is also Minecraft Dungeons and Minecraft Legends. I think that's the only other Minecraft games there are. Uh, but that's how it'll be. And what I'll probably do is if I end up doing Tales from Minecraft, I'll do season one is one episode, and then when the village comes up again, season two will be the second episode. Or who's to say? I don't know what I'm going to do for that yet. But episode three is going to be the Minecraft, the base game. Uh, if you want to follow along and play Minecraft, play these games as we go. Uh, I think this is a good way to do this. From now on, I'm going to tell you the games and the best way to play them as we go. And Minecraft, you could play it on damn near anything. You could play it on your phone. You could play it on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation. Uh, I think there's a way to play it on Steam Deck, but it's not, optimal. So I will probably be playing I'll probably play Minecraft on my computer or on. No, I can do it with my backbone. I'll do it through that way. But yeah, so that is episode two of Super Smash Bros. Review. Let me know what you guys think of how I've been formatting this, and if there is a review series that you would like to see in the future. And so thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.